Hello and good morning, dear students. Today we would discuss functions of human resource management into your subject human resource management. Prior to that, let's revise in 2 minutes what we have studied till now. We have discussed the meaning of human resource management. What is human resource management all about? Human resource management is just the management of human resources who are working with you or into your organization. Then we had studied in the last lecture the objectives of human resource management, in which basically we have highlighted the main aim of human resource management, which is to contribute to the realization of organization goals. With this, we have seen why we are required to practice human resource management into our organization. Yes, because when we consider our organization, yes, the base of the success of the organization itself is if we focus on the human resources who are the most active person, who are the most active factor of production into our organization. Surely it leads our organization towards success. So what we are required to do is we should frame some policies, we should give certain facilities. Also, we should ensure that we always provide the workers as well as the employees the quality of work life which they required to accomplish the task which is given to them. With this, we would start the functions of human resource management. Now, whenever we consider function or this word function, what function means? Function means what a organization is supposed to do, or basically what this human resource management is supposed to do or supposed to practice. Whenever we consider the functions of human resource management, we can classify the functions into two main types. First one is managerial functions and another one is operative functions. Okay. Now, the first managerial functions, it is reclassified into four main functions, that are planning, organizing, directing and controlling, and the other part which is called as operative function, it is also reclassified into 6 parts. First one is procurement, next is development, then it is compensation, then it is maintenance, integration and emerging issue. One by one we will be discussing all these functions in this lecture. First one, managerial function. In managerial functions, as discussed earlier, there are 4 functions which are included. First one is planning. Now, when we have studied the subject management, there also we have discussed this concept planning. What is planning or how we define planning? Yes, planning is deciding in advance what is to be done in future. In the same sense, the planning function of human resource department pertains to the steps taken in determining in advance personnel requirements, personnel programs, policies, etc. After determining how many and what type of people are required, a personnel manager has to devise ways and means to motivate them. Means, what planning means here is the steps taken by a manager in determining in advance personnel programs, policies, etc. See, whenever we establish a business or whenever we think that our business or organization should run properly, should be successful, yes, first of all, we do recruit human resources. Now, whenever we are recruiting the human resources, how many human resources we need to properly function? This thing is first scheduled by us. Next thing is The personnel programs. Personnel programs means if we think that the human resources who are working with us or the persons, the people who are involved into the production activity of our organization, if we wish that they should work in a proper manner, then surely there should be some schedule, some programs, there should be some policies which should always be in favor of this human resources. Even we should be providing certain facilities, amenities, so that it will always motivate these people to work. Even the superior should be guided in that respect to motivate the subordinates to work. Because if the superior will not positively motivate his subordinate, surely somewhere the subordinates, they will not give their 100% devotion towards the work. So if you think that the task which is given to the personnel, to the subordinate, it should be properly completed, it should be properly 100% devotedly and dedicatedly be completed or accomplished by the person, the subordinate, then surely the superior first, they should be self-motivated, and even they should motivate their subordinates to accomplish the task in the given time, in the proper manner. Means both efficiency and effectiveness plays important roles into here. So first of all, they should plan for it. They should plan for the personnel whosoever they will be selecting. They should draft programs, policies in favor of these personnel. Then the second function of which is included in managerial function is organizing. Yes, this function we have also studied this function into the subject management. What is organizing? Organizing is just collecting all the resources in a proper manner. Here, under organizing, the human resource manager has to organize the operative functions by designing structure of relationship among jobs, personnel and physical factors in such a way so as to have maximum contribution towards organization's objectives. In this way, a personnel manager performs following functions. What he does, he prepares, or preparation of task force is made by him, allocation of work to individuals, integration of efforts of the task force, coordination of work of individual with that of the department. These all things they are done into organizing. Means what this human resource management is supposed to do? Yes, he is supposed to collect all the resources which are required to accomplish the task together. Means the production activity which they have planned for into their organization, for completing that production activity, whatsoever resources, physical resources or human resources, whichever is needed, those M's which are needed, they are collected at one point. Then what he does, he allocates the work to every resource, he assigns work to every resource whomsoever is attached towards the work. Then he integrates or he establishes a link between all these physical resources as well as human resources, and he coordinates the work which is assigned to every resource and ensures that the work done is properly completed, it is completed in time. So the third function which is included in managerial function itself is directing. Now what is directing? Who directs? Yes, the leader directs. In the same sense, directing is concerned with initiation of organized action and stimulating the people to work. The personnel manager directs the activities of people of the organization to get its function performed properly. Means the personnel manager guides and motivates the staff of the organization to follow the path laid down in advance. First of all, in the managerial function, what we had done, we had planned. Means what are the resources required, how many resources, human resources we require. If we think that the human resources should give their 100% dedication, what task should be assigned? If we think that so-called there should not be any injustice on this human resources, what should be the policies and procedures adopted? What should be the programs which should be adopted by our organization? Yes, we had planned for this. Then what we did? Yes, in organizing, we had collected all the resources which are required to complete the production activity. Now in directing, what is to be done? Yes, a right direction, a right track is to be shown, the right path is to be shown to the subordinates, a right direction is to be given to the subordinates. They should be guided in that manner. Okay, because if the subordinates are misguided, or if so-called the task is not properly communicated to these people, and if they have certain issues, if they have certain problems, or if they have not completely understand the task, then surely somewhere so-called the production or the task whenever is accomplished, it will be incomplete once, or it will not be that perfect. So if you think that the task, the work, the production activity, it should be perfect, it should be zero defective, then surely the personnel manager should guide and motivate the staff of the organization to follow the path laid down in advance. So whenever the so-called subordinates, they are assigned with certain duties and tasks, the personnel manager, he should be that effective to see, to check, to verify whether the subordinates, they are working properly, whether the subordinates are guided properly, whether the subordinate, they are clear with whatsoever task they are assigned with, or the responsibility which this person has shouldered on these subordinates. Then the another function is controlling. Yes, controlling is ensuring that there will be no difference into the task communicated. Controlling provides basic data for establishing standards, makes job analysis and performance appraisals. All these techniques assist in effective control of the qualities, time and efforts of the workers. Now, whenever we consider the production activity, whenever we consider the so-called production of any product through our organization, yes, nowadays quality always matters. The standard of your product should always be perfect, or the product which you are producing through your organization, it should be that perfect, it should be having a high quality, superior quality, because whenever the customer is paying price for your product, he always ensures that you provide the value which is more than what he has paid for your product. So here, whenever your production activity has been started, or whenever your production activity is going on in the organization, you should always ensure that whatsoever you produce through your organization, whatsoever is manufactured through your organization, it will be having a good standard. Because if somewhere your quality of the product, if the quality of the product is not that perfect, if you produce imperfect product or the product which has certain defects, surely the customer will not prefer it, and somewhere your goals will be affected. So ensure that whatsoever is produced through your organization, it will be having that standard. Yes, this is only possible if you have dedicated human resources, if you have qualitative and skilled human resources. So these are the 4 managerial functions which are included in functions of management. Let's see the other part, which is called as operative functions. Now, as earlier we had highlighted, operative function is also classified into 6 parts. First 2 parts, that is procurement and development, we will discuss in today's lecture, and other parts we will discuss in the another lecture or the next lecture. Procurement. The first operative function of personnel management is procurement. It is concerned with procuring and employing people who possess necessary skill, knowledge and aptitude. Under this, you do job analysis, manpower planning, recruitment, selection, placement, induction and internal mobility. First one is job analysis. What is job analysis all about? It is the process of collecting information related to the operations and responsibilities pertaining to a specific job. Means if in your organization, whenever you are recruiting the staff, whenever you are hiring the human resources or the amount of human resources whatsoever is needed into your organization, at the time you need to specify the jobs which you will be assigning to each and every personnel whom you have recruited. Now, whenever you are analyzing the job, at that time you should be careful in fixing the responsibilities which you will be shouldering with the specific job. So here you collect the information related to the job, and also you should be fixing the responsibilities which are related to the specific job. Then human resource planning. What is human resource planning? It is a process of determining and assuring that the organization will have an adequate number of qualified persons available at proper times, performing jobs which would meet their needs and provide satisfaction for the individual involved. It is the process of estimating the present and future manpower requirements of the organization. So, what is done into human resource planning? Yes, here you are required to ensure that you hire adequate number of qualified persons, and these personnel, they will be available in the time, they will be available at the proper time whenever you require to perform the jobs. This all planning is done into this human resource planning itself. Then it is the recruitment. We are aware about this concept. It is the process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for jobs in the organization. What you do is, yes, your organization is in need of staff, and what you do is you just go on advertising. You can reflect your advertisement in which you have mentioned that you need so and so number of persons, so and so number of human resources for your organization. The so-called aspirants or so-called eligible candidates, they apply for the job for your organization. Then it is selection. What is selection? Selection is the process of ascertaining qualifications, experience, skill and knowledge of an applicant with a view to appraising his or her suitability to the job in question. Yes, in recruitment, you might have described the job, you might have given the job specifications. Now, looking after the job specifications, some of the aspirants, they might have applied. Now, who is the right person to perform the job into your organization? Yes, considering their skills considering their ability and creativity. Yes, those skills, if they match with the job analysis, with the job specification, yes, you can select that candidate so that your organization will function effectively. Then it is the placement. Here, matching the employee's qualification, experience, skills, and interest with the job on offer is done. It means assigning suitable jobs to the selected candidates. Yes, you have selected some of the people whom you think that they are having skills, their qualification is suitable for your organization. What you do is, yes, you highlight their interest areas, and as per their interest area you assign them some of the tasks. Yes, if the interest area of the employees and the job description, if they are matching, surely they will give their 100% devotion and they will accomplish the task in time. Then it is induction and orientation. Induction and orientation are the techniques by which a new employee is familiarized in his new surrounding and introduced to the practices, policies, and people. He must be acquainted with the principles which define and drive the organization, its mission statement, and values which form its backbone, and also the goals of the organization. In this induction and orientation program, what is done? Yes, the freshers, they are made aware about the cultures, values, and code of conduct of the organization, so that it will be easier for that person to match with the organization. To save the organization as well as the employee from certain conflicts which may arise in the future while he is working with the organization, such type of induction and orientation program is provided. Then it is the internal mobility. The movement of employees from one job to another through transfer and promotion is called as internal mobility. Some employees leave an organization due to various reasons, leading to resignation, retirement, and even termination. These movements are known as external mobility. In the best interest of an organization and its employees, such job changes should be guided by well prepared principles and policies. Means just internal mobility means the human resources who are part of your organization. So what is done into this internal mobility? The movements of employees from one job to another job within the organization is made. Means transfers and promotions they are made so that the organization will be benefited at last. Then the second function which is included under operative function is development. It is the process of improving, changing, and developing the skills, knowledge, creative ability, attitude, values, and commitment based on present and future requirements, both at the individual and organization level. This function includes first training. Now, we have heard this word training. What is training? Training is a continuous process by which employees learn skills, knowledge, abilities, and attitudes to further organizational and personal goals. Means this person continuously they are offered with certain skills. They are trained to acquire certain skills and knowledge which is required for effectively performing his job. Then executive development. It is a systematic process of developing managerial skills and capabilities through appropriate programs. Means what is done into this? Yes, the managerial skills and capabilities are developed through appropriate programs so that the so-called subordinate and superior relation it will be harmonious and it will be sound one. Career planning and development. What is career planning and development? It is the planning of one's career and implementation of career plans by means of education, training, job search, and acquisition of work experience. It includes succession planning, which implies identifying, developing, and tracking key individuals for executive positions. Means human resources who are working with you, or the individuals who are working with you, by means of their education, training, job search, and acquisition of work experience, yes, we help him to plan his career. And what we can do is, we can identify their skills, we can identify their so-called capabilities or distinct features, and we can give them the appropriate job roles. Then last one, human resource development. Human resource development, what is it? It aims at developing the total organization. It creates an atmosphere that enables every employee to develop and use his capabilities in order to achieve both individual and organization goals. What is done into human resource development? In human resource development, the total organization is developed, or an atmosphere is created through which the employees, they can develop their capabilities in order to achieve their own goals, that is individual goals as well as collectively the organization goals. With this, we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.